This is Cavalier here, and welcome back to my channel. Today is Monday, therefore it's Speculation Day. And today on this Speculative Monday, I'm going to talk about the Age of Empires 4 news that came out in the last week. So the news was pretty much they're going to be announcing, they're going to be releasing a new game for the Age of Empires franchise, Age of Empires 4. And they're also going to be releasing definitive editions for Age of Empires 1, 2, and 3. So pretty much like an overall for the franchise, going into a new direction and everything. And I want to talk about what's going to be happening in the Age of Empires 4 game. So I already talked about this, and that was like your news information rather than speculations, because we didn't get that much information basically, and I just said whatever they said in the trailer, and I talked about what can be happening, and I also talked about the definitive editions that was explained in the Gamescom event. So you can go and watch those two videos in my channel. But today I want to pretty much talk about speculations that can be taking place in the game. So first of all, I want to know, I want to speculate about the era that is going to be. In the trailers, always choose the careful words, and they said they're going to moving into a new era, and that to me explains that they're going to be going in the route of modern era, like they showed in the photo, like ancient, medieval, colonial, modern, and futuristic. So I think they're going to be going in the route of modern eras, and I think it's going to be taking place in the World War-ish kind of setting, and that's why they have hired Relic Entertainment to do the game. Those guys who did like Company of Heroes, which is pretty much around that time. Second of all, I want to speculate the resources that are going to be in there. So if it's a World War themed game, I don't know how the maps are going to be, but I want to talk about the resources. So it's modern times, and stone is not that important. So I think they are going to be replaced with oil, and I think food is important, obviously. Timber, so that's like your wood, and gold is always important. So I think they will replace gold with currency instead. How much, for example, there's going to be like your economy tree. So if you build your market and how much other resources that you have, like your timber, your food, and your food stocks and your oil, your currency value will vary, and that will give you some amount of currency, and you can trade there. And if that makes sense. And for example, like if you have more timber, more food, and more oil, your dollar value will be higher than your opponent, and that will give you an edge over them, because you will have more money to hire more soldiers or mercenaries and stuff like that. So I think that way they can go, or they can just have gold as an resource. That doesn't make sense in the modern era, but these are my speculations regarding this one. Like timber, food, and currency and oil, population is same, and the buildings are going to be modernistic. Obviously they did a good job in the definitive edition itself, where the buildings are really 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 cool. So they would do a good job in the modern era as well. And second of all, I want to talk about the maps. Well, Age of Empires 3 was a great game. I loved it, but the main problem was um, the minimap. It was a colossal fuck up, and not just that, the multiplayer was not fun to play. If you're playing single player, it doesn't matter. The colonial idea was really cool. You can just ask for resources, you can ask for buildings, you can ask for soldiers from your empire, and they will send you, and you can build them. You can have a great time. But that was a cool idea. But to me, that didn't give me fun when I was playing in multiplayer. That didn't make sense. So one civilization was overpowering than the other, and one unit was overpowering than the other, which really didn't make sense. That didn't feel like Age of Empires 2 at all. Age of Empires as a genre, as a franchise overall, it didn't make sense. And I don't want them to make the same mistakes they did there in Age of Empires, 4. So I think the map should be clear as hell, in Age of Empires 2, and the UI should be similar to Age of Empires 2 as well. They did something right. Take note from that and do something right. So instead of doing something wrong like they did in Age of Empires 3. Next, I want to talk about is the civilizations. Now, Age of Empires 2 is fun till this day, even before the expansions came out, like your Forgotten Empires, Rise of the Rajas, or your African Kingdoms. They were really well balanced. They were awesome, and there were some mistakes here and there, but they did a good job of play style. So if you pick a certain civilization on a certain map, you can hold out your own. You will lose, but you will lose with dignity, and you won't be trashed. And it's not like every map, um, every game 4v4, 3v3, it's just a bunch of civilizations picked, again and again. Now, after the expansions, it added variations. It just gave it just completed the game, to be honest with you, and they can add and add and add more expansions from the days coming. I won't be surprised, and I really want them to add it like that, because 31 civilizations are there and every one of them is balanced in a right way. So still the balance changes are going on, so they are working on the game. They didn't give up on the game, which is a real nice thing. And I want Age of Empires 4 to have modernistic civilizations if they are going down on that path. And that's the concept of this video, speculating that it's going to be modern era. So I want to see civilizations like Germany. I want to see civilizations like your Britain, United States, and Canada, and your France and Italy. So all these civilizations and some underdog civilizations thrown in there as well. And obviously tanks, infantry. So cavalry, air force is going to be a big is going to play a big role. I want to see them controlling the water battle. All the real-time strategies that are coming out in this day and age are not even remotely close to the success of Age of Empires 2 in the genre. And that's a shame, because every time you think about it, Age of Empires 2 had a success in 97, 99, and like in 2003 after the expansions of Conqueror's expansion, and even after the HD, it's still the best game out there. Obviously there's going to be Dota and StarCraft and everything, but that's all like multiplayer, massive multiplayer role-playing games. Pure RTS, Age of Empires 2 rules today. And all the other games that came out in this 2000, after 2010, I guess, were complete shit. I can say that out loud right now. I have played all of them and I didn't get hooked to them. I mean, I'm a guy who continuously searches for real-time strategies and downloads them and plays them, but I didn't feel closer to any of them. The ideology, the lore, the units, the base building stuff, the maps, it's just the UI, it's somewhere in there they make a mistake that turns me off. Age of Empires 2 didn't. Still today I play Age of Empires 2 each day, just a civilization, just a pick. Even though if I don't play multiplayer, I'll play single player with the new AI, and it's just I have fun, and that's what I want. Age of Empires 4 to be. Every player who gets the game can enjoy the game with friends or even on their own time. So I don't like if they go back on their word. In the trailer they say they're gonna go to a new era and they're gonna go back to Age of Empires 2 era. That doesn't make pretty much sense, right? So I don't want that to happen, and I don't like that to be happening here. And second of all, it doesn't make sense. And modern era, World War times, Company of Heroes was a great game. So if you don't know what that is, go check it out. It's a great game, and these guys did that game, so I really believe in them. So this is my speculative video, guys. They're gonna be like resources are gonna be like timber, food, currency, and oil. And I don't know how they're gonna integrate air combat in this one, but it would be really nice to have that, because it's a great aspect of the thing. And Age of Empires 4, okay, medieval times is a great theme, but players are too comfortable with it, if you can understand. Ancient and medieval, the even the units are changeable, but the ideology is same. But when they came to colonial with guns, tanks, artillery, not tanks, artillery, I mean, they kind of like screwed up because of the other factors that I mentioned in the video. But if they get those aspects clear, like if they have a clear-cut map, really cool mini maps, different ideologies, different play styles, they're really gonna enforce some awesomeness. They're going to bring several players from their shell of medieval time in their minds, and they're going to put them in a modern era, modernistic real-time strategy. So I really want them to show the world what real-time strategy is all about. Right now, turn-based tactical combat is really winning, guys. XCOM 2, even the expansion, is like a new game, and they're just doing so much stuff with turn-based tactical, and it's just that genre is winning. And with Phoenix Point coming out next year, I think they are going to take the prize. But I want Age of Empires 4 to stand a chance. If RTS has any chance of winning, Age of Empires 4 is the key, and Age of Empires 4 should win that fight any time of the day, given the fact it's done well. It's done really well. So that's my speculation. What do you guys think about it? Do you want modern era? Do you want to see these kind of speculation aspects in the game, or you want to see new ones? What civilizations do you want to see, if it is modern or not? If you want medieval times, then what would you kind of like prove your point? Why would you say you want medieval when they said they're going in a new era? What do you think is going to happen there and stuff like that? So let me know in the comments down below, guys, about this. Hit that like button if you like this video. Share the video with your friends and family. Subscribe to the channel for everything that is gaming. And Speculative Monday is going to be happening pretty much from every week now. And this week I'll upload a schedule for the channel. The schedule might change after I get a job or after I do something else with my life. But for now, these 2 months or these 3 months, the schedule is going to be followed day to day, and I'll upload that schedule this Saturday or this Sunday. And I told I have a surprise for you guys, which will be showcased this week. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.
Let it go.